Bonsoir tout le monde. J'espère que vous allez bien. For those who do not speak freedom fries, that was hello, and I hope all of you are doing well. I know that right now I'm talking to the wall, but that's fine. I know that both Melissa Berrien and Before the Billions and also JP, the aspiring matriarch, are all having lives at the moment, and usually I know two or three of them would be here, and so would a lot of people that are on their lives would be here normally. Oh, but I do see one person. Anyways, I hope everybody's well, and I hope everybody will catch this on the replay. This will be a relatively short and brief um, live because I do know that a lot of you guys that would be watching are now watching other live streams. But I thank anybody who does come to watch this later on. Like, comment, and subscribe. Those are all free. If you so choose, please tip the teacher by sending me some French fries to my PayPal if you want. So today we're going to do a quick review of the book The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene, who also wrote a couple other books. One of them is The Art of Seduction. Okay, so please tell me in the comments whether or not you want this to be uh, a permanent stream or live topic that you want to have. So now, the 48 Laws of Power. I'm going to quickly go through the cover here. The the version I have is what is that page? Now, 48 the 48 Laws of Power was published by A. Jules Helfer Books, okay, and which is a Penguin Books company. And the one that I have is the 66th printing of it, which basically came out, if I understand things probably, in 1998. It probably has been translated uh, to a few other languages, but I have the English copy, the English version. So, I'm gonna go chapter by chapter through this book. I was originally thinking of going, one chapter a week. So this week and next week will be chapter 1 and 2. But if you guys want me to move on to another book, again, let me know. Um, or I may, after next week, go on to another book or something else. But again, if you guys like this, let me know. And hopefully you guys do. So, we're going to get into it since I do want to make this quick. Like I said, I do realize right now I'm talking to the wall, which is always fun, but hey, at least I can get away with saying whatever I want without offending anybody. So, all right. So, like I said, today we're going to talk about the 48 Laws of Power. We're going to talk about law number 1: never outshine the master. I'll repeat: law number 1: never outshine the master. And I know enough about copyright laws to know I can read a few lines, but not the entire book. So sorry if you guys came to have the entire book read to you. That's not the channel that I'm at. That I think you need a certain amount or special kind of copyright license to do so. So, the summary the book has of that particular chapter, because for those of you that don't know, it has in the contents, instead of doing the typical, just, the chapter 1, it goes from page, starts at page this, chapter 2 starts at page whatever. It does that as well. So, you do see law 1, page whatever. And then it gives a title and a very brief, like 2 or 3 lines, summary of the law. So I'll read that to you guys now. So that way, even if you haven't read the book or haven't, read it in a while, you guys can still at least have an idea of what I'm talking about tonight. So, law number one, like I said, is never outshine the master. Always make those above you feel comfortably superior. In your desire to please or impress them, do not go too far in displaying your talents, or you might accomplish the opposite: inspire fear and insecurity. Make your masters appear more brilliant than they are, and you will attain the heights of power. Now, what I find interesting about this book and how it divided the different chapters, the different laws, and so forth. Um, Now, it didn't do that really a whole lot for the first chapter, but in other chapters, you'll see on the sides of the book, rather than the text taking up the entire page or the vast majority of the page, like you have very little white on the sides and the tops. On some of it, it has red text that can basically be used as examples or interpretation. Now, in the first chapter, didn't really do that. Okay, so you don't really have that going on, but you do. In each chapter, basically has a judgment. Okay, it has the transgression of the law. So it gives an example of somebody who did not listen to what was supposed to happen. You have an interpretation. Then you have somebody, it has an observance of the law. So somebody that followed the example, an interpretation of that. And of course, the keys to power. So the different elements of the things that you need to be doing in order for you to be successful in that law. And of course, you have the reversal. So we'll go through a little bit quickly. Like I said, I don't want to be 3 hours of me talking to the wall. Okay. Oh, I do have somebody. Do I? Oh, hey, Lashes Journey. How you doing? I hope you're doing very well tonight. Thank you for being here. If you want, after my whole blah blah blah, you're more than welcome to join the live if you so choose. I hope that you hit the poll. I created the very first poll, hoping that more people would be here than I realized with all the other people that were live right now, that I was kind of thinking I'd be the only one here. But hey, I'm glad that you're here, Lashes. Um, so thank you for being here, and good to know that you're doing great. And I hope that you haven't been too busy with the husband and the son today. And I hope that you have a great plans for this weekend. So I don't know if you at what point that you got into the live. So today I'm talking about the first chapter of 48 Laws of Power, which is called Never Outshine the Master. Okay. So this is a book that often gets used in the MGTOW community. If you don't know Lashes, the MGTOW community stands for Men Going Their Own Way. So it's often used as a book to inspire men in particular to act in a certain way, and in quote unquote that alpha status and that very dominating way, all that kind of stuff, right? I just find it more interesting. It's often compared to the book The Prince by Machiavelli, because that book as well gives tips as to how to be an effective ruler. So the comparisons are definitely there. Although for me personally, I haven't read The Prince in quite some time. So um, my reference to the book is very touchy at best. Yes, it's definitely MGTOW is it's not a very well known group, Lashes, but look into it if you have time, if you have the desire to. If you don't, really don't want to, it's fine as well. I know for you as a mother, you don't necessarily have time for anything and everything. So I'll reread the summary for you so that way I know that you have it in mind. So this book, like I was saying, each in the index, instead of it just saying, law one, it starts at page whatever, chapter two starts at whatever page. It also has a basic summary of the law. So for law number one, never outshine the master. The summary is always make those above you feel comfortably superior. If your desire to please or impress them, do not go too far in displaying your talents, or you might accomplish the opposite, inspire fear and insecurity. Make your masters appear more brilliant than they are, and you will attain heights of power. Okay, so that's a basic summary of the first chapter or the first law: never outshine the master. And I was saying that the book is the chapter, each law is subdivided into a transgression and then interpretation of that transgression, an observance of the law. So he gives two. Robert Greene is the author. He gives two examples: an example of somebody who did not obey the law and the interpretation that you can come by it, an example of somebody who observed the law and what you can interpret, and the keys to success. So what you can do to apply this law in your life to be an example uh, of how it's applied successfully. And then he also ends it with a reversal. There's also some red text here and there, giving some more details and examples and so forth. So, in his example of the transgression of the law, he talks about Nicolas Fouquet. It's the finance minister to Louis XIV, or the Sun Prince, and how he basically had this huge party for the prince and sorry, for the king, I should say, and really, outdid himself. Everybody was, praising him for having such a great party, and thanking him for being such a gracious host. And he also invited the king to the party. Now, in the interpretation, he indicated that, well, not the interpretation, well, the interpretation as well, but in the transgression, Nicholas, or Nicolas, as I say, so Nicolas Fouquet, ended up going to prison, accused falsely of various crimes. So in the interpretation, the author Robert Greene was talking about the fact that, well, the reason why the king went after this guy, despite having this wonderful party thrown in his honor and all that, was because the king always wanted to be center of attention, right? He always wanted to feel like he, as the king, was the best, was the center of attention. Plus, other ministers, other individuals were, instead of throwing these parties for him, were stealing money or other wealth or other items and giving it to the king. Okay. So rather than, stealing his attention, they were rewarding him with stolen money. So that's how Nicholas ended up in jail, wrongfully prison. I believe he ended up dying because of it as well. So that's an example of transgression, right? So you always, in this case, when you're dealing with the king of your country, Louis XIV is the king of France in this case, um, always make sure that the king is, always at the center of attention, and that whatever you do always considers him first and foremost, that you never outshine him, and that if you have to pay taxes, for example, always pay more than what's necessary, kind of thing. Okay. So then he gives an example of somebody who observed the law. So here he talks about Galileo. Of course, we've all heard of the famous astronomer. I don't know if he was an astronomer. Yeah, he was an astronomer. Um, Galileo, right? And he's made quite a few discoveries and things like that. And he was hello, King. So wake gardening. Thank you for being here. I hope you're going to enjoy this. I'm talking about the first chapter or the first law of the 48 laws of power. So I won't repeat everything that I said, but that's basically where I am. So I just talked about how the author was given one example of somebody who transgressed the law and what that means, and now I'm starting to talk about somebody who observed the law. So I hope you're doing well, Kingsway Gardening, and I hope that tonight you're going to have a nice, comfortable night. Please click on the poll. I do want your guys' honest opinion as to whether you guys think I should continue this book review series or not. It doesn't necessarily have to be about this particular book, but just books in general. But you can also leave a comment as well on the replay if you want to rewatch it. Okay. So I'm going to continue. So he gave the example, like I was saying, of Galileo who observed the law, which I'll remind you guys is never outshine the master, right? So he's saying at first, basically Galileo was, working for peanuts and not really getting paid and just, working for, for gifts and so forth. But at one point, Galileo, rather than, because what he would do is when he discovered something, he would say, okay, this particular part, I give credit to that particular individual. This particular other part of my discovery, I'm going to give credit to that other person. So yes, people were grateful, people thanked him, but he never really got far with this. And at one point, of course, when you're a starving artist or starving inventor or student or whatever you want to say, at one point you're like, okay, I need to eat, I need to pay rent, I need to take care of a certain amount of things. So of course he's like, well, I need to do something different. So rather than being grateful or thankful to many individuals, he strategically picked one particular person. Oh, bonjour Peter, j'espère que vous allez bien. Thank you for dropping by. I know you're with the before the billions. This won't be a very long live stream, guys. I'm trying to do as quickly as I can, because I do know that there's Before the Billions doing a live stream. There's JP Matriarch that's doing a live stream as well, and Melissa Berrien as well that's doing a live stream. But thank you, Peter, for your support. It's always much appreciated. I appreciate all support, guys, whether it's just coming in the chat to say hi, coming up on the panel, watching the video on the replay, having it playing on the second tap. Peter, I don't know if you're still here, but if you can participate in the poll at the very least, please, if you can. I do want your honest opinion as to whether you want the book series, me talking about books, to continue, whether it's about this particular book or about books in general. Thank you, Peter, if you do it. Thank you very much to Kingsway Gardening and Luscious for being here and for participating in the poll if you did. All right. So, as I was saying, so thank you, Peter, for voting. Thank you very much. So, yes, with Galileo, rather than being thankful to many different of his patrons for helping him through his discoveries, he strategically picked one patron in specific to recognize. So I think it was when the book was saying, when he was talking about or discovering the moons of Jupiter, rather than, oh, I discovered this one particular moon and then giving credit to one particular patron, and oh, I discovered this other moon and then giving credit to another particular patron. He accredited all of his discoveries to one particular person, and that person rewarded him handsomely. So now he wasn't struggling as much. So that's what he learned from that, right? So rather than thanking many different individuals, he thanked one person, like the most important person. So me, if I wanted to, and that's what his next step was, is the keys to power. How do I apply this in my life, right? So rather than me thanking each and every single one of you for being here. Oh, I have a new person here that I don't think. Oh, this is Aisha. Hi. Nice to see that you have your other personas here as well. For a second, I'm like, "Who's this?" Wait a minute, I have a new person. But thank you for doing that. Very kind of you. But yeah, so me, if I were to apply this into that, yeah, that's a good trick to do. That's what I do too. That's what I'm doing with the other three people that I mentioned. I have three other tabs, no, four other tabs going with four other three other live streams and a video that I want to eventually watch afterwards as well. So yeah, thank you, Luscious. It's definitely a good technique to go with. So yeah, so if I want to apply this law um, in my own life, for example, rather than thanking each and every single one of you that's here in the live, I would strategically thank, a particular person. So let's I would thank um, Kingsway Gardening for voting. Okay, so rather than making it about everybody, I would make it about just her. Okay. Because maybe she might have $1 million and, hey, I'm struggling. I need a new microphone. And I know by, you know, putting all my attention and all my focus on her, she might say, okay, oh, I see that you have an Amazon wish list and I see that you want this particular microphone. Okay, let me go get that for you for uh, being so gracious and, praising me all through the night. So that's one way I guess you could look at how to interpret this particular law. Now, what is also interesting, thank you for this sub, Luscious. It's very nice of you. So what I like about this is that I find it a little bit short, but he does have a reversal. So he talks about doing the contrary of what he just spent X amount of pages talking about. So in the reversal, here he's talking about if your master is losing his power, right? So things are getting worse for him. He's saying that, hey, look, let's say it's the boss of your company, right? The company is doing very well. You now went from having just one location to 10 location and then 100 locations. Think of something like McDonald's, right? At one point McDonald's started off with just one or two locations, right? Now it's this big mega company that has, hundreds and hundreds of locations, making God only knows how many. But at one point it will start losing money, right? So if you're one of the competitors, what Robert Greene is saying, if you're one of the competitors and you see that McDonald's is losing its favor, don't be afraid to go after it. Don't be afraid to uh, target your commercial because now, sorry, excuse me. Oh, thank you, Wealth Talk Production. Thank you. Thank you for the like. Very nice of you, Wally. Please vote if you can, Wealth. I do want your guys' opinion as to whether or not you want to hear me blabbing away about books or not. It can be about this particular book, the series that I want to do, or about books in general. So, thank you again, Wealth, for being here. I know you. I saw you on the live for before the billion. So I'm almost done, guys. I swear. So I won't blabber on for too much longer. So thank you again, guys, for being here and supporting me. And if you guys ever have a live or anything else, let me know, and I'll definitely be there for you guys. Okay, if I can, obviously, I'll try my best, but. Yeah, anyways, so what I do like I was saying, is that he does have a reversal at the end of it where he talks about the contrary, right? Yes. Oh, I said yes. You book can be fun if you know how to make it fun. Okay, good tip. Yeah, no, that definitely. That's why I do want to hear about your guys. If afterwards you guys want to watch this on a replay and leave me comments. Hey, she stole my thunder. Maybe improve on this. Maybe improve on that. I'm all for nice nice criticisms. Okay, I'm Canadian. I'm very sensitive. Okay. So yeah, so in the book he's saying that, look, If you see that your enemy, well, your enemy, your boss in this case, not enemy, but if you see that your boss is losing his power, so you're Burger King and you see that McDonald's is, losing its customers, more and more of its restaurants are closing down, etc. If you're Burger King, don't be afraid to do an attack act, because McDonald's does not have as the influence that it used to. And that's why the whole point of this chapter is, when your boss is at the height of his power, when your master is at the height of his power, he has the capacity and influence to either make your life a living hell or to make your life a wonderful joy, right? Think of your boss when you want to have a salary increase, you want more hours. Maybe there's a chair that you need because, well, the one that you have now, it's hurting your back or whatever. If you just came back from a 3 hour suspension because you were caught doing something wrong, he's not going to do anything in your favor, right? But um, if you're, constantly saying, yes, boss, I'll stay overtime. Yes, boss, I'll do this for you. Sure, boss. Hey, you look really great today, sir. All that kind of thing. Um, he's going to be more likely, not guaranteed, obviously, but he's more likely to give you what you want. Okay. So always make sure not to outshine your master. Now, I'm not saying I agree. Hey, Kurt Russell, I think this is the first time I see you here tonight. So thank you for joining us. I'm almost done, unfortunately, Kurt, but I'm glad that you joined here even at the last minute. And I hope everybody enjoyed the talk. That was pretty much the bulk of what I wanted to say about the first chapter of the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. I'll repeat that he also wrote the book The Art of Seduction. The book, at least the one that I have, is, let me get to the back here. Sorry, guys. I'm never as organized as I would like to be. It's 452 pages, but there's an index as well. Oh, it's you. Jeez. How many accounts do you have, Journey? Jesus. But thank you. Thank you for even whether it's your persona or somebody else's. I'm so glad that you're here. But thank you so much. I don't know. everybody everybody's using their personas, using their real names. You guys make me laugh, my goodness. But I'm all for it. Hey, if I can get a few more views, I'm all for it. I have nothing against it. um but yeah, so it's a pretty big book as well, not just in, what, for me, okay, 452 pages. I mean, technically, I could read this in a day or two, maybe three, if I really put myself to it. But it's big because it's not, in the sense of that, it's not a pocket book. So at first it seems a little bit intimidated, but honestly, especially the first chapter was really maybe 5 or 6 pages, and that's about it. Um, Now, Wally, Lashes, or sorry, I'm gonna go back up here because you guys are using your persona. So Wally, Lashes, or Kingsway Gardening. I don't know if any one of you wants to come up and talk about the book or your thoughts, or maybe, you want to say, hey, yeah, Kurt is your husband. Okay, well, hi, the husband. How you doing? I hope all is well, and yeah. So I don't know if anybody wants to come up on the panel. Click one if you want to come up and either discuss the book itself, what you thought of my interpretation of it, or maybe give me your thoughts on my series, on my channel, whatever. Or if you have questions about your own channel and what you think you should be doing, etc. So if you guys want to come up, press a 1. I'll share the link. If not, if I see nobody wants to come up, it's fine. No pressure, guys. Please don't take this as you have to come up or else. If nobody wants to come up, I, there's other, live streams going on that for me too. I'd like to participate in their live streams as well. So don't feel like you have to stay here and support me. Um, if this live ends here, that's fine with me, guys. Really, okay. So I'm gonna say until, let's say it's now uh, 10. Just turned 10:17. I'll wait until 10:18. If I see nobody puts a one, I'll call it an end of the day for this live. Okay. And again, feel free to, in the replays, leave a comment saying what you thought. I'm going to go and take a second to look at the chat. Yeah, at the poll in the chat. I assume everybody participated in the poll, and everybody said 100. Thank you percent. Thank you percent. Oh my goodness, if somebody does not clip that, I will be very upset. Thank you so much for participating. So I'll end the poll now officially. Okay, so thank you for participating. Oh, and I do say, so I got 7 votes and everybody said yes to continue. So it's always good news. So Lasha, since you said yes, you would like to come up, I'm going to share the link in a second. Here we go. Give me a moment. So here is the poll. If anybody, so here's the poll. You see how my brain is working? That's that French. I believe you. I believe you. My brain does not want to work tonight, but it's okay. It's Friday night. We're almost over. So here is the link, Lashes. If anybody else, Kingsway Gardening, I know you're going to say no, but Wally, as usual, you're more than welcome to join. If you don't want to, I understand. You can use one of your fake accounts if you want to, Wally. I'm all for that. But anybody else wants to join, please feel free to do so. If you want to talk about the book, about something else, let me know. So we'll just give Lashes a moment or two to get up, because I know, especially when you're doing trying to get on StreamYard through your phone, it's hectic. I know last night my phone and StreamYard were not friends at all. They were fighting like cats and dogs. It dropped me a couple different times. I'm planning to go live, so not today. Well, fine. No, I understand, Wally. Like I said, I'll keep asking until you say yes, but the offer is always open to you or to anybody else who wants to come up on my live and join in on the fun. I'm just going to go take a quick look to see what Before the Billions is up to and the rest that I have going. Oh, I just voted on Before the Billions has a poll. I just voted on that one. And Melissa Berrien and JP are still going on theirs. Hopefully, I'll be able to catch theirs. Oh, here's Lashes Journey. Absolutely. Thank you for the motivation, Luscious Journey. Oh, I'm glad to see you guys are motivating each other. So I'm going to let Luscious Journey on here. Hello, Luscious. Can you hear me?
Hi. Yes, I
Hi.
can. Hi, good night. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. How are you?
I am doing great. Thank you. Hi, chat. Good night, everyone. Good night, chat. Good night.
Yes,
She
to
stole my
you and
thunder.
to all. Thank you to you and all your all your personas. I'm like, what? I'm getting all these new people coming in. What's going on? Oh, it's you. Oh, okay.
I know my husband
No.
just came home and like, where's your phone? Give me your phone, quick. He's like,
Thank you.
like,
It's
give me
funny.
your
It's
phone.
hilarious, but but thank you, thank you. No, it's I didn't think of doing that, but yes, I have a couple other like personas as well. I should learn to do that too. That way they get the double the views and everything. But hey, I'm
I
all for
know.
it.
And I subscribe on them too for you. But
Oh,
yeah,
thank
all
you.
my kids, they have account as well. They're not
There
using
you
it,
go.
so I might as well use it.
Exactly. Might as well go to a purpose, right?
I
But
know.
yeah, no. Thank you for coming up here and participating on the panel. Now, did you want to talk about the book, about something
Uh,
else?
it From what I heard. early on. It seems like a great book. I was a little
Mm-hmm.
bit distracted with the kids and these accounts, so
Mm-hmm.
it kind of lose kind of lost me there for a minute.
No
But
worries, no worries.
it's yeah. But from what I heard, it sounds like a great book. So I'm thinking about getting that book.
Yeah, no, it's definitely very. And I was half tempted to like, how do I get an affiliate sales thing with Amazon and like, so that way I can get a few dollars if people buy it. But anyways,
I
that's a
know.
problem for a different day. But no, you really should. Now, I literally just started reading it today, so I don't
Hmm.
by all means consider myself an expert on the book.
Hmm.
And the first chapter really was like 5 pages, not even. So it took me like 20 minutes to read through it. So
But you do a good
it's
job.
thank you.
Yeah, I like the way you tell a story, and it makes it interesting. It
Thank
really.
you.
So I'm
No,
thinking
I'm
about
glad.
buying that book.
Excuse me. Good, good. I'm glad that it encourages you and that you wanted to
It does.
um part is King's Way Garden seems to want to come up as well. So I'll leave the link down for her. But yeah, no, you definitely should. My only regret is that, and this always happens to me, is that I ruined the pages a little bit by carrying in my book into my bag, and it was raining today, so it ruined the pages a little bit. But
I
that's
do
the
that
cost
too.
of, yeah, exactly. It's the cost of having a physical book, right?
Yeah.
Um, but no,
I,
it's a pretty quick and easy read. Although it's big. When you
hmm.
get it, you'll understand that like it's definitely not the typical book that you would have like a pocketbook kind of thing. So it feels
Uh-huh.
very intimidating, but the chapters tend to be relatively small for the most part. So I mean,
That's good.
exactly. So for a show like this, where I just want to talk quickly about one particular chapter, it's not like I have to read the whole book and then present the whole book. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes. No, it's a technically, Wally, it's a paper copy, I guess. Yeah, paper copy. But yeah, so it's a really easy way. So that's why I figured I'd start with this one to start off with, and I guess it's credit to the author as well, that it's he literally divides each chapter into like subsections, so it's really easy to follow, and like you know where he's going with what he has to say. So yeah,
Yeah, it makes it much easier for
yeah,
a reader.
exactly. Yeah, for sure, for sure. So yeah, so I probably will do the chapter 2 next week. I might break because I don't know, 48 chapters, and then doing once a week. It's 48 weeks. It's mostly a year, right? So I don't think I'll do like, okay, I'll do the first 2 chapters and then talk about a different book, and do another 2 chapters talking about a different book. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's, do
Yeah,
you
that
think that's a
sounds
good
good.
idea? Yeah, yeah. That's why I
Yeah, I
figured too,
think so.
because yeah, because I talking taking a year to talk about one about one book is not a
I
good thing.
know.
Yeah. Oh,
And I just want to
Kingsway.
say
Yeah.
thank you
Go
to,
ahead.
oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I just want to say thank you for helping me with StreamYard last week. It was last week, right? Or this week? Early on
Yeah,
in the
earlier
week.
this week.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you. Really
My
appreciate that.
pleasure.
I
My
didn't know the
pleasure.
first thing to do.
Yeah, yeah, no, and I did notice that you went live a couple of times, but then the videos are private. I didn't know if that was intentional or not.
I don't know why. I guess I can't figure that out. I haven't figured that out yet. How to get it
Okay.
off.
Yeah, you might have to go into your YouTube studio, and
Uh-huh.
and I don't know. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can. I'll show it to you now, and hopefully we can figure out how to resolve that issue. Because like, especially you had one video about your
Hmm.
painting, and I'm like, oh, that sounds interesting. That sounds like a lot of fun to watch. And yeah, Kingsway, I'm
Oh,
sorry to hear about your voice. I hope it gets better soon. And yeah, Wally, paper copy always gets ruined very easily. So let me see if I can help you out here. Hopefully, what I'm gonna show you will resolve your issue. Da, 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 if I can get into the right thing at the right time.
okay. Yeah, I was painting my baseboards. I'm still
Ooh.
doing it. It's a lot of work.
I could imagine. So
Wake up with
yeah, it's
backache.
oh no, I know it's we're not 17 anymore, right? So
No.
things start to happen at a certain age that yeah, not fun, not fun.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so let's see if I can show you. Hopefully this will help. Hopefully this will help, but we'll see. All right, so let me get into that here. If this wants to cooperate. And now which one do I want? Oh yeah, that one. Okay. I assume you see my screen right now, right?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. Okay, excellent. Now, do you know how to get to this page or not at all?
Let me see. Yes, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I can.
Yeah, just in case you'll click on the top right, that's your account, right?
Hmm.
Then you'll see that pop up. You'll click on, that's how I get to it. There's other ways. You'll click on your channel, then your channel obviously will pop up, and then on the right hand side you'll see manage videos. You'll click on that and it'll bring you to this. So obviously you see a couple little previews here, but that's okay.
Oh yeah,
So
I've
basically
seen that. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So if I let to say, this is one of my latest videos, because as you can see, it's says that it's
Mhm.
public, that there's no restrictions, blah blah blah, and then obviously the number of views and comments, everything else. So if I wanted to change this to let's say private, there's two different ways. Okay, the
Mhm.
easiest is here with public. You would just click, and then obviously you would change it to either private, unlisted, or public. So I have a funny feeling in your case, it's set to private in the YouTube. Okay. So check that to see if, if that's the issue. The other way to change it is this nice little pen once you hover above, because here, obviously, you don't see it, but when you hover above it, you'll see. So you'll click on the little pen to change the details. And you can always change again here visibility. You would change while you're here. That's my suggestion to you. Since you're relatively new, get in the habit of adding an end screen and cards to your videos. Okay, if possible, get in the habit of creating a playlist. So right now
Oh
you're
yeah. Oh yes.
yeah,
Melissa helped me with that playlist. I
yeah,
have a
exactly.
playlist.
There you go. So that's another way of creating a
Thank
playlist.
you.
And like, yeah, exactly. No problem. My pleasure. And like Wally said, this here is very important because obviously there's some content that, yes, you want it to be for kids. It's, you play in the park and you want to, you want as many people. For the most part, a lot of our content, you want to say, no, it's not for kids, right? You're going to have adult conversation. You might be swearing, things like that, because there's certain things that if you involve kids with and YouTube catches you, you're going to be in trouble. So that's another, my other little advice. So get in the habit, no, it's not for kids, and add an end screen and cards if you can, especially if it's a longer video of like a good 5, 10, 20 minutes. So this stream that I'm going to end relatively soon, I would use an end screen. And just to give you an idea of what that looks like, so when I click here, this little thing pops up. So you see this video already has an end screen. So as you can see, it
Um,
shows that it picks the best for viewer and obviously the most recent. These two
uh-huh.
things here can be adjusted. So that's when it starts and when it ends. Okay. These can
Okay.
be yeah, it can be adjusted. So it automatically was set it that it starts right at the beginning of your video and ends at the end of the. So obviously you don't want it to be throughout your entire video. So you do want to
Mm-hmm.
adjust it to as far to the end as possible of your video. So
Oh.
that's how that looks like exactly. So
Oh.
and that's a way. Look at it this way. It's free publicity for your own channel, right? And you want
Yeah.
people to be on your channel, watching your videos, and staying as long as possible with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
especially again if you're, if you're not, your playlist isn't so great, it don't have like hundreds and hundreds of videos in your playlist, or you're not really okay, can I really create a playlist with this? At least hit them with the end screen, because people are more likely to hit the end screen, you know what I mean? So if you don't
Yeah.
want to really put that emphasis on the playlist, add an end screen, so that way at least people will be watching your videos and be more encouraged, because I know that a lot of my favorite YouTubers, that's how they got me hooked on their videos as well. Oh, they have a video on this. Okay, let me click the end screen video. You know what I mean? So
Uh-huh.
it keeps people participated in your channel. I do both as much as possible, but not necessarily always. Oh,
Okay.
here's the little one.
I know.
Mommy, mommy, mommy. I'll let you go to him. So for everybody else that's watching, um, Luscious, when you get back, hopefully you'll rewatch this. But for everybody else, I'll show you guys how to add a card. Okay. So again, you're just going to click here. This little blue thing is the card. Okay. So when you want to add a card, you're going to click on the plus sign here. You're going to decide whether you want to add a video, a playlist, or a channel. You're going to click on that. And obviously it will pop up your most recent videos, etc. And then you would pick one that you would want, or you could pick something on YouTube in general. Okay. And obviously once you're done, you would click save, and that would be that. Okay. So that would be my suggestion to everybody, is add end screens as much as possible, add cards, make sure that your videos are, no, it's not for kids as much as possible if necessary, because I did have to do this to one of my recent videos, have it age restricted. Okay. One of my videos on Kent Monkman, knowing the content of his art, would not be safe for kids at all. Luscious, you back with us?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. No problem. The other little suggestion I guess would have for you, while you're here, and that's kind of why I want to bring, there's all these little things that you can do to your videos while you're here. You know what I mean? And oftentimes when you're uploading a video, this is what you're going to see in some way or another. There's like 3 or 4 different steps. But once your video is uploaded, it's more organized in one spot. And of course, it's the famous thumbnails that everybody's like, oh, yeah, I need to do thumbnails. Oh my God. Oh, they're such a horror. I have a love-hate relationship with thumbnails. So this one here is, of course, Melissa Berrien. For those of you who don't know her, I think she goes by the Real Talk with Melissa Berrien. She does have a live going on right now. Um, and it's you know this is her looking very beautiful. I would suggest, if possible, if you can, add a thumbnail, a unique thumbnail, if you can. It's a hit and miss to use thumbnails from Google, because a lot of it is copyrighted material, and if you get caught using that, too much of that, it's a big no-no. But since this one's already added, you can always, I'll show you how to change it, I guess. So I would click here, change. Obviously, since mine already added a customized version, obviously it's going to be slightly different for you. Then I would go into a folder, pick whatever. Let's say I'm going to pick this one here. And there you go, it's changed. Okay, so if I want to save that, if I was happy with that, I would click save. If not, well, that's not really appropriate for this video, so I'll just undo that, and it goes back. Okay, so that's pretty much it. So try that with your videos to see if
Hmm.
hopefully you can have your videos go to public, and while you're there, hopefully do a couple of things. So those are little tips and tricks, as they say. So hopefully that helped you, and hopefully it resolves your issue with your
Thank
videos
you.
being brought. You're welcome. I know every once in a while I come up with good ideas. It's rare, but it happens. Hello, Gail. How are you? Thank you. Yes, for putting Melissa's channel in there, and thank you for promoting my PayPal. Very generous of you, Gail. Gail is, of course, as you know, Luscious, the queen moderator. I'm the queen of clips. She's the queen of moderations.
I
She will.
know.
She's
I
the
know.
moderator extraordinaire. She's probably on Before the Billions channel moderated, and amongst like 20 others. I swear. I think she's a robot. I think. I have my suspicions that she might be part of Skynet. I'm not sure. She denies it, but no, no, I kid, Gail, I kid. She's very much a human being, a very caring and generous one who um, takes time to support everyone in any way that she can. So thank you, Gail, for
Yeah,
being
she
here.
is.
And yeah, the things this woman can do with her 10 fingers, I don't know. I don't know how she does it to be already just doing my live and having three tabs open is already too much. And then to do what Gail does, I don't know how she does it. She's an
I
amazing
know.
woman.
She gonna
Amazing
have to
woman.
teach me so I can help her.
I know. It's and then on top of that, she wants to start her own channel too. Can you
Yeah,
imagine?
we can
It's
help.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what she doesn't understand. Everybody's like, you should. It was like a couple days ago. We were on. Hello, Joel. How you doing? We were on. Was it Miss? Oh, with Destination Dad's live, and when she, yeah, you know what? No, it was my own video. Sorry, what I'm every all these live videos that sometimes I participate, I sometimes forget everything. But yeah, she was like, yeah, I want to. We all were starting to fight about who gets to be moderator on her channel. It's like, no, me, no. That's how much support this woman has. It's like she doesn't have to do a whole, but
I
like
know.
people are fighting to be her moderator. That's how much of an awesome woman she is. It's like
She
I
is.
don't. I'm fighting to find moderation. She has like hundreds of people fighting to be her moderator. That's how awesome she is.
I know.
Um, she's a great woman, a great woman. But
So
anyways, I
true.
hope to see more videos from you. Because we need more Black people on YouTube creating content,
I know.
even if
So
it's
true.
just you painting walls. I'll gladly watch you paint walls for 2 hours.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I have a walking one today. I went walking.
Oh, good, good. I'd have to
Yeah.
see that. I hope you have upload it and we'll watch it. Come on.
It's on there, but I need to cut it. I need to learn how to edit. I try.
Oh, yeah,
Gosh,
that's another.
everything is hard for me.
Yeah, and I mean, start with the basic
It's
stuff. You know what
long.
I mean? Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. How long is it?
I think it's an hour and 18 minutes.
Keep it like that. You don't need to cut it.
I'll
In
keep it
fact,
like that. Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I mean, you can cut it down if you want to.
Mm.
Because I know that for one of my movie talks, it was maybe 3 or 4 hours, but then I just cut two or three sections that I felt were really good and that were more standalone elements of it. So I
I,
have the full like 3 or 4 hours, but then I'd have two smaller clips of like I think one is 30 minutes, one is 50 minutes or something like that. But you want to keep it because don't forget, especially if you want your channel to grow. I don't know if that's your objective or not, but even if it isn't, um, you have watch time. Okay. So the longer the video is, the quicker that watch time goes up.
Oh,
So, yeah, exactly.
I
So you
wasn't thinking.
want,
Okay.
yeah, exactly. So, and because like I said, I don't know what your objective is, but it's you want the way to get monetized on YouTube. You have to get 1,000 subscribers. B,
Oh,
you
yeah.
have to have 4,000 watch hours.
Oh,
Okay,
no.
that's a yeah.
Sound impossible.
Yeah, almost. So, I mean, just to give you an idea, I'm at like 2,700 something hours, give or take. You
Oh,
know,
that's good.
that's pretty good. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I don't know where Before the Billions, but he hit a pretty big milestone for himself. He got applause to him. He got 800 subscribers. I don't know where he's at with his watch time.
Mhm.
The other two elements is to be double verified. Okay, so that's the other. When you log into your YouTube account, that you have a double verification. So that one is a quick and easy. You just click and you'll get
Uh,
it. And the last thing to get yourself monetized is just have no strikes against you. That basically, as long as you're behaving on Google, you'll be fine. So those last two, anybody can do at any time. The two first ones, those are the ones that you're really gonna have to work for if ever you really want to take it more seriously. I mean, for me, I see somebody like TLA that makes something. I think he said 20,000, 30,000 a month. I mean, who
wow.
wouldn't? Yeah, who wouldn't want to make 20K a month
I
just for
know.
doing, just for doing YouTube videos? Sitting in front of a camera talking. you know. So
Wow.
yeah, I mean, it's of course we can't all make 20K, but that's the potential that some of us have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So hey, if you have that potential, that power, that ability, I was thinking, with 20K, what could you do? Like, even if you're not thinking about for yourself, how many kids do you think you could send to school with 20K? You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
especially I exactly, I'm Canadian, and I know how expensive the college is in the US. I mean, 20K, that's like half a year for you guys in college and university. So
Yeah.
after 2 months, you've paid for somebody's, the full first year. After 4 months, you've paid for their entire 2-year program, or after 6 months, half a year, you paid for their entire bachelor's degree or undergraduate degree. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
imagine. You pay it in 6 months, so you can send two kids every year to undergrad. You know what I mean? That's
Good.
crazy. Yeah. Anyways, I won't keep everybody up too late. I know I heard you yawning a little bit, so I know it's been a long day for you. I know it's as a
Oh,
mother, you got a lot of things to do, and I
no,
don't
I
want to
go to
keep
bed
any.
late.
Oh, never mind late. You go to bed early on time. No, no,
I'm
no.
always up.
Yeah, I know. Me too. That's my drawback is like, okay, I need to go to bed on time, and of course 3 a.m. I'm still
Mhm.
watching YouTube videos and everything, even though I promised myself, no, I'll stop watching, I swear. Okay, just one
Me
more.
too.
It's sinful, I can tell you. But no, I don't know if you have any other questions or something else, or
No, that's it.
you're good to go.
Yeah.
um
And
I'll
I have
let
your
you.
email.
Sorry.
I said I have your email.
Yeah, you definitely have my
Okay.
emails. You and Gail, I have not forgotten about contacting you guys. Just like everybody else, been bombarded with a lot of different things, but I haven't forgotten you guys. And I'll let you go. But thank you for being here, Luscious. And have a great night. Give your husband and your son an extra big hug for me.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Bye bye.
Bye. All right, guys. I don't know if anybody else wants to come up in the chat. I'll just in case somebody wants to come up, I'll put the StreamYard link in the comments. I'll wait until 10:46. If nobody else wants to come up, I'll call it a night. If nobody else, don't feel pressured, guys. Really, if you don't want to come up, absolutely fine. Uh, yes, we did that walk. Yes, I'm glad to hear it. And I mean, I know I started walking more, especially to work, to and from work. It's a good 20, 30 minutes each way. So it's a healthy walk every day that I'm getting. And I know I have to contact Stu, Uncle Stu, for those of you who don't know, Uncle Stu, the old man on the block. He also has a walk and talk a session that he has, and him and I do want to coordinate a date and time where we both walk and talk together. So hopefully this will come soon. So I definitely have to email him as well. So yeah, hopefully that comes soon. I For those of you who don't know, I live in Montreal, and Mount Royal is a great view, especially now that there's the change in foliage. So nobody else is coming up, which is absolutely fine, guys. Supporting me. By being here is more than enough. By chatting it up is more than enough. Leave a like, a comment, subscribe is always appreciated. Don't forget to tip your teacher and send me a few French fries to my PayPal account that Gail was so nice to put above. And yes, definitely check out Melissa Berrien. She has a wonderful live going on right now. Oh, just gonna get your mic. Okay, I'll wait a couple minutes for you then, Joel. No problem. So I guess I guess we're not leaving tonight. But if anybody needs to head on out, don't feel like you have to stay, or do like Luscious, just have two or three tabs going and let it rip. So I hope you guys enjoyed my talk about the 48 Laws of Power. If you guys have questions about the book, or at least chapter one, because I haven't read the whole thing yet. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free. I'm gonna have to sign up to PayPal. Yeah, I know most of you guys in the US, you guys usually do Cash App. Here in Canada, unfortunately, Cash App is not available. So unfortunately, guys, I have to go through my PayPal. Sorry, but and again, don't feel pressure anybody to send me any money. Any dollar is appreciated, but it's definitely not mandatory. Likes and comments are free. Oh, and here is Joel. We'll have him up. Hello, Joel. How are you?
Hola, hello. Can you hear me?
Hola. Yes, we can hear you. Thank you for being here.
No problem. I saw the topic was the 48 Laws of Power. I like that
Yes,
book.
yes. I just started reading it today, so I don't spoil this, please, as they
Okay,
say.
okay.
But I did read chapter one, and that was my whole video today was on chapter one. So you're definitely welcome to present your thoughts on chapter one. What did you think about that particular chapter?
What was that title? The chapter one title?
Chapter one was never outshine the master. Always good
Ah,
advice.
yes.
I don't
That one.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever had that experience where you did outshine the master and oh, you regretted it.
Actually, I did, and
Yeah.
I definitely could see where it comes from.
Mm, yeah, for sure, for sure. So what are your thoughts on chapter 1?
Well,
Well,
I'm sorry for the background noise. I'm
no worries.
in the truck,
Yeah, no worries, no worries.
but never outshine the master. I mean, never is a never is one of those words where you know, in the
Never
sense that yeah, in the sense that it's talking about, I
Yeah,
understand where it's coming from.
yeah.
Especially given the era, because people were just chopping people's heads off left and right.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's one of those things where it's like, okay, the master is the master for a reason. So it's like I could see where it's coming from. But for instance, one of the situations I was in,
Mhm.
actually, I believe it was one of the stories in that book. Actually, was I unintentionally did it where
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to outshine him. I was just I was a curious. I was trying to actually do the opposite. I was trying to show my worth. I was at a tech.
Mm.
I was at a textiling. Uh, it was like a textiling thing where they were separating polyester from cotton and belling the cotton and the polyester.
Mhm.
And one of the guys, he had told me to do something. He was the guy that actually, I think he was like the manager or the owner. He
Okay.
might have been a manager or something like that. And he had told us to do something a certain way, right?
Of course.
And I saw a way to possibly do it better, and I was like, hey, what if we did this and that? And mind you, you know, it was an older white guy.
Mhm.
You know, up to that point, I could tell, he was a manager. He knew
Mm.
he did his job well. The guy I was working with, he taught me everything. And unintentionally, when I was like suggested the better way of doing it, and then all of a sudden he just kind of real swiftly snapped. He was like, "Just do what I told you to do." And that's when I was like, "Okay, yeah, I need to just shut up and just do it."
Yeah.
So then I shut up, and then sure enough, I want to say maybe a week or two after that, I wasn't there anymore.
Oh
But
boy.
yeah, so it was one of those situations where I kind of learned, and like I said, I didn't intentionally mean to do it. It was just one of those things where he told me to do something his way, and I was
Mm.
like, oh, it's like how some people when they ask questions when they're like, okay, well, what happens when we do this or that or that, and then I guess he got a little bit fed up with my input, and he was just like, just do what I told you to do, and he left it at
Yeah.
that.
No, for sure. Because for people in power, when you're, like you said, you're just asking questions or you're proposing an idea, because for you, practically, you're the one doing the work, right? So you have to consider your body, your physical abilities, your mental abilities, etc., when doing the task. So for you, okay, you know what? When somebody asks you, like, let's say I'm right-handed, right? And you ask me, okay, write this letter with your left hand. I'm going to be like, what? Why would I want to write with my left hand? It's not comfortable. I know my body. I know my, how I write, and I know, okay, I'm not a left-handed person, so why would I, But for them, hey, everybody always writes with their left hand. Maybe their entire family is, left-handed people, and they've dealt with nothing but left-handed people. So when you're here saying, well, why would I want to write with my right hand? I have a, why would I write? Sorry, why would I write with my left hand? Wouldn't it be better for me to just write with my right hand, since that's my, I'm right-handed dominant? For them, you're questioning their authority, even though you're just trying to, talk about, present something that was, just practically, what to do. But for them, you're questioning their authority. You're questioning their capacity to lead, and at the end of the day, they just want dregs, right? They just want mindless people who just do what they say. Oh, hello, blind guy, his wife, their life. Thank you for stopping by. Sleepy or not, we're still always glad to have it. So that's what I was learning from this chapter. Is you don't question authority, basically, because that's, like you said, even when you're not trying to do it intentionally. To them, that's their perspective. Is like, you should be the one, just do what I tell you to do, or else. And I'm also glad that you brought up the pack, like in the chapter one, but I think he does it with all the chapters, if I remember correctly, is that he talks about the reversal. So in situation where your boss might be losing power or something, like maybe he's close to retirement and people aren't really listening to him anymore, go ahead and not listen. There's some situations where you can get away with, basically giving the middle finger to your boss if if he's cutting out a line, kind of thing. But you definitely have to tread softly while your boss uh, is in power, to really be careful, because he is, like, what you went through. A week later you could be out of a job, because people will listen to him over you. People aren't necessarily going to take your side. you know
Yeah, and to the people that might read that book, some of the things seem contradictory, but that book it's not meant to, like, you're not supposed to do everything at once. It's like a play sheet where it's like you're supposed to take the parts that are applicable for each situation, and then do what you need to do with it. Because like you
yeah.
said, there was that contradictory thing where it literally tells you the opposite way of doing it, but it's like, okay, you don't, you use each one as you're supposed to use it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for the most of the chapter one, he was like, no, while the, like, I think in the first part of it, the first example where he was talking about somebody not listening to the law and they got bit with it, was when, let me go back to it. I do have the book here. Da, 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 da. Again, I wish I was a little bit more organized, but hey, life happens. So yeah, he was talking about in the transgression of the law. He was talking about the, excuse me, he was talking about the case of Nicolas Fouquet, who is the finance minister to Louis XIV. And Nicolas Fouquet did sort of like what you were doing, where he was like unintentionally questioning Louis XIV. He was just throwing him a party, and hey, look at that, all these, the good food, beautiful women, all this stuff. And of course, the King of France, Louis XIV, took it in a completely different way. For him, it was like, how dare you outshine me? Because people were going to Nicholas and, oh, great party. I love the food. Oh my God, the women were beautiful, all of that, rather than going to the king. And if you, like, you don't take away the king's shine. You know what I mean? Like, he's the king of the country. And like you said, if you're the king of the country, you don't just happen to be there because you're a really nice person, like you're there because, hey, you were born into the right family at the right time, and you stay king because people will listen to you and or fear you. And basically he ended up saying, hey, since you outshone me even at your own party in your own home or wherever the party was, he then ended up grabbing Nicholas, accusing him of various crimes and sending him to prison, because that's where they have the power, right? The master has the power. It's not just, okay, he's a king. He can have things done to you despite being innocent. Like Nicholas was completely innocent of these crimes, and he still ended up being found guilty and sent to prison for it. So that's why, this law, like you said, comes into, it's so important. You don't mess with the masters, because they're in a position where if you say or do the wrong thing, even unintentionally, you're the one who's going to live really crappy consequences because of it. Or if you play your cards right, because that's in the book, he has the observance of the law, right? So where people are applying it properly, you can potentially be rewarded greatly for applying that law appropriately. you know so that's why I like the book so far, where he shows you, hey, if you mess up, this is what could happen. If you do well, this is what can happen. But hey, if you see this happening, which is what that last part, which is the I keep forgetting what he calls it, the reversal. But if you see this happening, this is what you should be doing. When that law changes in your particular case, this is what you need to happen. Need to do. So I don't know if you have anything else to say about it, Joel.
Nah, I just wanted to put that in there, but I will
Okay.
say the unintentional part, it really made me, cause I pride myself on having a fairly high EQ and like
Mm-hmm.
understanding other people's emotions and how they might interpret things, which
Mm-hmm.
is one of the reasons, like when I'm in a discussion or I'm talking to people, I'm like, words mean things. Like I like to say that because, people tend to, from time to time, use the wrong words and misinterpret stuff. So it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, in that case, he he it was misinterpreted, his efforts were misinterpreted, and it cost him his life. You
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
so it's one of those things where it's like, there might be those instances where you go to your boss and you're supposed to do something for your boss or something like that, or
Yeah.
for a client, they misinterpret it, and you know, there goes your job or there goes that client. So it's like it's really important, when it comes to social skills and making sure with especially this law and the others in that book,
Mm-hmm.
that you kind of are aware of the other person's point of view. You know.
Exactly. 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 Well, yeah, no, but it's definitely a good point. And blind guy, his wife, their life says that, yeah, you make a good point that words have meaning behind them, right? They're not, words are words for a reason, right? So, if they didn't, if words didn't have meaning, then why would we use them, right? So, but anyways, if you have nothing else to say, you're good.
That's it. Well, thanks for
All right.
chatting.
All right. Thank you for coming up and participating in the panel, in the chat. Thank you very much, Joel. Have a great evening. I hope to see you here next week for chapter 2. But even if you're not able to, thank you again for being here. And I hope that you catch the replay of next week, where we discuss chapter 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank
thanks
you,
for
Joel.
having me.
Thank you for being here. Have a great night, Joel. So, hello, before the billions. I was about to say, hey, I gotta get to before the billions. Are you still live on yours, or has yours ended before the billion? You're on your live, and I'm on your live. Bonsoir, before the billions. Est-ce que vous allez bien? I hope you're doing well tonight. Thank you for being here before the billions. I know you're doing your live right now. But basically, for me, I will end the chat in a minute or two, or the live stream, I should say. My goodness, tonight my brain is everywhere and does not allow my tongue to work properly with me here. But again, thank you guys for being here tonight and for supporting me either by being on the panel, by being in the chat, or whatever other way that you can. Thank you for those that participated in my first ever poll and agreeing that I should continue this series. So next Friday, I did change it from Wednesday to Friday because I felt at the end of the week at 9:30, 9:45 was the best time to sit down and talk about books. It would be much more relaxed, as much for me as for you guys. So I hope to see you guys tomorrow. I will have a live stream as well, going back to my roots, as they say. I'm going to be talking about a TV show, Netflix. Um, I hope you guys will like that live as well. It's a series that I haven't heard about. Let me get back to it, guys. I have so much on my brain that I can't even remember what I'm supposed to be doing. My goodness. She Stole My Thunder is not organized tonight. To shame with me. To shame. My goodness. What kind of YouTube channel am I running here, folks? My goodness. What can I do? What can I do? Thankfully, I have you guys supporting here. Support me. Ugh. You see how much I'm ruining things here, people? My goodness. But yes, my live stream tomorrow will be about the Netflix show Cowboy Bebop. It's an anime, I believe. So you guys are more than welcome to join me tomorrow for that at 2 p.m. Or Sunday, I will have my second video in the series. Let's talk. How do I say? Where I teach you guys a little bit of French. So if you can, please review the first episode where Before the Billions learns a little bit of French as well. Hopefully, he'll be there for part two, and hopefully, you guys as well will be there. Thank you, Gail, for putting in my PayPal. And as usual, make sure to give a big thanks to Gail as well in the chat. She's out here working hard for everybody. Hello, Wally, that Cartoon Network. I don't, yeah, yeah. So hopefully, Wally, you'll come up on that panel. Hopefully, if not, at least please be in the chat because I definitely want to hear your opinion on the show. It might because I see I've taken hints from what Wally's saying that maybe it might be a more adult type of cartoon. So you may be, I'll watch it. So you may be requested to sign in and verify that you are indeed over 18. So if that is the case, I apologize in advance. Okay. I'm certainly not trying to exclude any of my watchers, but you guys all know how YouTube is with kids on YouTube. So I definitely will try to watch your walk-in. Trying to bait the fish, not quite. And yes, Lashes Journey, I will try to watch your walk-in as well. If I can't catch it because it's during my live, I will try to have it on a second tab so at least you get the view in the moment, and then I'll catch it afterwards. So again, thank you guys for being here. I've already overextended your generosity. I know I said a couple times now that okay, I'm ending the stream. I'd end the stream half an hour later. I'm still here, but thank you guys for being here. If there's somebody in your life that you haven't hugged in a while, that you haven't said "I love you" to in a while, please, please, please take the time now to do it. Okay, even if it's just calling them up on the phone to tell them that you love them, go do that now. Okay, so have a good night. Merci, merci, merci. Good night, everybody. Thank you for being here. I hope all of you have a good night's sleep. Go check out Before the Billions live stream. He's still on. And I believe Melissa Berrien is what? Yeah, Melissa Berrien is also still on. So please go see her as well. Have 2 or 3 tabs going. Have a good night, guys. Merci et au revoir. Thank you and good night. I will obviously put the right end to this in a second. Have a good night. Bonsoir. Say I love you to somebody you care about.